Hi. How's everyone feeling? Can you believe I have to follow up from that? I mean, that is amazing. So my name is Ciara Green. I am the marketing founder and creative director of Ciara. Now, I did not grab my little channel changer, so just give me 1 second. All right, here we go.
There you go.
All right. I am the founder of Ciara, a marketing agency here in New Orleans, and we serve clients nationwide. Now, you just saw on the screen, leap and the net will appear. Well, I am absolutely leaping right now. So I hope you all can be my net because it is very nerve-wracking for me to be up here. I'm absolutely taking a leap because public speaking is not my thing. So thank you so much for being here with me. So I have been able to serve clients nationwide, and they are incredible, from Nike to Afterpay, New York Fashion Week, and some of our most incredible local companies such as King Cake Drive-Thru and our incredible juvenile Times Chewies. That collaboration, my agency was able to do the design for the bag with a couple of different local artists. And right now, actually, my assistant is going to hand out a couple of these bags so you actually can see one of these projects up close and personal. This is also just a distraction tactic because, once again, I'm nervous to be up here. Now, the story started from Alabama. I moved from Alabama all the way to California with a dream, and it was a little unhinged, okay? Here's the reason why it's so unhinged, is that I thought I could go out there with literally no job and $2,000. Do you know what $2,000 can get you in California? Literally a cocktail. Like, I'm telling you, that is it. And so I went out there, I was like, dang, I gotta find a job real quick. Here's the interesting thing about Alabama and California. Now, Alabama, back in 2016, it was a little bit different than I would say today because they really expected you to have all these skills in a creative world to take you seriously. You needed to be an entire agency within one person in Alabama for them to hire you. Now in California, you take it over there and they think that you're lying. So for example, let's just say you're a videographer and you're going to get a job and you give them your reel and you say, yeah, I did the editing, the color correcting, the shooting, I picked out the music, and they're just like, but this is just for the editing role. Like, you did all that? Like, what? They're a little thrown off because it's two totally different worlds. But that actually ended up helping me later on. Now, this agency that I finally got a job, I was just going for an admin role because I just needed some money. And they just said, hey, do you think that you may want to be trained in branding and in marketing? And we'll have you be your full in-house, you'll be our entire brand manager. And I said, sure, and I left. Within 11 months, they taught me everything I needed to know to go out on my own. And that's exactly what I did. But here's the thing, why would you leave an agency where you get to work with some of the coolest companies when you could just stay there and be comfortable? Well, I saw on a server one day, accidentally, that I was being paid the amount of money, almost an entire year, of what they charged for a workshop that I created for one of their clients, and they charged $20,000 for it. I was like, what on earth am I doing here? Like, I need to be making this money, but I was terrified. Like, how on earth I was taught everything I needed to know in 11 months, and I'm just gonna go work for myself? How is that even possible? How am I going to do this? But I knew I needed to make that money. And here's why. My brother has been wrongfully incarcerated for 10 years. In 2014, he got into a car accident, and he ended up with a life without parole plus 40-year sentence. And I said, I've got to get him out. And I can't get him out making $30,000 a year. I have got to make more money. And so he is absolutely my driving force today and every day, and he is still in there, and I am still working to get him out. But when I wake up, I work for him and I work for me. So it is twice as hard. And it's gut-wrenching, but you can understand that everything that I do is for my family. So when I heard these words from my dad when I first started my agency, it broke me because he is an entrepreneur himself. And so when I hear you'll never make it, I thought, why is the person that I look up to the most, the one that I feel like loves me the most, I'm a daddy's girl entirely, yet he tells me I can never make it. This is what happened. I ended up landing my first client out in Alabama, even though I was living in California. So I flew across, obviously stayed with my parents, and he saw after the workshop, which I landed for $20,000, and I was completely shocked that I was able to do that. I was like, how is this even possible? He saw all the notes and all the workshop materials, and he looked at it and he was like, this is the ugliest thing I've ever seen. You'll never make it doing something like this. And I just thought, well, like, why is he saying this? And it was horrible. It was gut-wrenching. And that killed me so much. But I said to myself, it's okay. So if there's anyone in the audience, whether your voice is saying this, or it's your parents, or it's your friends, or it's a random stranger on the internet, that you'll never make it, just use it as your driving force, because you absolutely will. Even if you got to fail and start over and start over and start over again, because that's exactly what happened to me during COVID. I lost every single client that I had. I had built my company up. I was doing so well. I lost every single client, and I thought, how on earth am I going to do this again? I had to start from ground zero, and I literally had to file for unemployment, but I thought, I can find something new. And I remember a random client reaching out to me and say, hey, do you do virtual photo shoots? And I was like, yep. I absolutely did not do them. And I was like, I'm going to figure out a way to do this. And literally my yeses just became, I will figure it out. Anytime a client has asked me, do you offer this service? I'm like, and then I don't. And then I go find someone that will do that. And that is how the agency began to build. And then after COVID, I was able to scale the agency up to multiple six figures within 1 year because this is what I did. I just kept saying yes and being customer service first and giving my client the best that they need, even if I had to go find it and stay up all night to make it happen. So truly, I think the importance of all this is really getting out of your own way. And don't let anything that someone tells you hold you back from where you want to be. And to this day, as a reminder, you have to think, the girl who started off making, $30,000 a year, not knowing anything, now to taking on projects that are that much. I was just recently offered a CMO position of a large fragrance company that's featured in Vogue and has national campaigns and does all these things. And yes, that's amazing and that's great. But really, at the end of the day, I just want to remind you that if you're a person in the audience that's working a 9-to-5 and you're maybe a little scared to start that new job, that new venture, I'm telling you to just leap and the net will appear. And if you're a founder and you're scared to start that second or third business, get out of your way. Just do it. I'm telling you, leap and the net will appear. Thank you so much for coming to my story, and I hope to chat with all of you.
Thank you so much.
Perfect.
Yeah.